Hello guys, welcome to my next Android tutorial, and in this tutorial we are going to learn about list views. So let's get started. First open Android Studio and click on Start a new Android Studio project. Provide your application name. Let me provide it as Project 2. Leave these fields as they are and click on Next. Now, make sure this API version is 15, because if you choose any other higher API versions like 18, 19, 20, then your app may fail to run on devices with lower Android versions. Suppose you choose Lollipop, then your app may fail to run on Ice Cream Sandwich. So choose API 15 and click on Next. We are going to use empty activity for our project. So just select empty activity and click on Next. And the rest of the activities that are specified here, I am going to teach all of them in separate videos. So for now, choose empty activity, click Next and click on Finish. I think it's almost done. So friends, we have completed building our project. Now navigate to this resources folder, then open layout folder and then open activity.main.xml. Just go to the design part, that is behind the text part. We are going to design a list view here. For this, first zoom into your design window by pressing Shift and the plus button. Okay, now select this hello world and click on delete. Now we are going to bring our list view here. For this, search for list view in the left panel. So here is our list view. We select, then hold and drag it over our design window. Now we want that our list view will occupy the entire width and height of the screen. So make sure that there are two properties specified, which are layout width and layout height. I will prefer you that to define any kind of parameters for any kind of views, just don't rely upon this right hand side. Go to this text part and design it there. So I am going to this text part and I am going to define this layout width and height here. And for this project, I am not going to use the constraint layout, which is defined by default. I am going to remove it and specify it as list view. Sorry, relative layout. Okay. One information: relative layouts are fast and easy to render for Android. So it affects the ultimate performance of our app, and our app becomes faster. Now, see, there are two properties, layout width and layout height. We are going to define these values as match parent. Now match parent specifies that the width will be maximum, and similarly match parent for height specifies the height will be maximum. So our list view will occupy the entire screen. Now one must to have attribute, which I think all of you can guess is the ID. So I am going to provide the ID as my list. Now we have created our list view. All you need to do is just write the code in main.activity.java. So open the Java folder, open the first folder and double click on main.activity.java. Now we are going to write the code for our list view in this part. First, we need to create an object of list view. To do this, simply write ListView my list is the variable name and provide the find view by id method and specify the id within the parameter. The id will of course be the id of our list that we have created in the XML file. So it is art.id.mylist. Okay. We have created an object of ListView. Now our task will be to populate the ListView. Okay. To populate the ListView, we need to know about adapters. Now what are adapters? Adapters are actually required by list views, or there are some other views like recycled views which looks almost similar to list views. They need adapters. Adapters are actually classes in Java. So there are two types of adapters. Adapters are of two types. One is the default adapter and the second one is custom adapters, which we can define by ourselves. So in this project we are going to use default adapters. Now default adapters are again of two types, which are array adapters. Now array adapters are also classes, and base adapters. All of the types of adapters are classes. In fact, the custom adapter too. By custom adapter I means that we need to define our own adapter, which will be classes too. So in this project we are going to use array adapters. Array adapters require an array. So, and the array will be the list items for our list views. I hope you are getting it. So let me do it. First we will define an array. It can be of any type. For example, string. Within this array, we are going to specify our list items. So let me provide three items. The first will be first item. The second will be simply second item. And the third will be third item. Okay. We have defined three items inside a string array. Now we need to define an array adapter. So array adapter, we need to specify array adapter, specify the type of the array adapter. It needs to be string because we have defined a string array for which the type of array adapter should be string. We will write now the variable name, which is my adapter, and then we will create an object of array adapter. Now within these parameters, there are three parameters that we are going to provide. The first parameter will be the context. So we are going to write main activity.this. The second parameter will be an layout. Now what does this layout does here? The layout that we are going to provide now actually specifies the type that our items will look like. It is going to describe how our items will look. So Android provides us with some default layouts and we are going to use one of them. So to get access to those layouts, just write android.art.layout.simpleListItem1. This is the default layout that I am going to use for my list items. Okay, you can try other layouts also. For example, there are other layouts like simpleListItem2 also. You can check it here, simpleListItem2. I am going to use simpleListItem1. Now the third parameter. The third parameter is very important and it's the array itself, which means the items. Okay, now we are done and we have created an array adapter. Now at last we need to connect this adapter to our list view. Okay. Now to do this we need to use the setAdapter method. Inside this parameter, we are going to provide the parameter as myAdapter, which we have created. So our adapter is connected to our list view finally. Okay, so we have done mainly three things. First, we have created an object of myListView. Secondly, we have defined a string array which contains the items for our list view. Thirdly, we have defined an adapter for our list view, and at last we have connected that adapter. So all is this about list view is very simple. Now we are going to run our app and test it. Click on the run button, and for this project I am not going to use any of the real devices because I am going to show you how an actual virtual emulator looks like. If you don't have a virtual emulator, you can create one. Just click on create a new virtual device. Choose from the list of devices that are provided here, for example Pixel. Click on next. Download the Android version that is going to be used by your Pixel device. For example, I have already downloaded Nougat. So I am going to select Nougat and click on next. After this, you need to click on finish, but I will not do that because I have already a virtual emulator. So I am going to choose my virtual emulator and click on OK. Now we have to wait. So this is our project. Our project contains of 3 list items: first item, second item and third item. So let me show you again. I am pressing the back button, opening the project view again. So see, this is the list view with 3 items: first item, second item and third item. So I hope that all of you learned how to create a list view and you understand all of the steps needed. Just make sure you watch my next video and please do subscribe. In the next video I am going to cover another important topic, that is the custom adapters, which I mentioned. So all for this today. Have a nice day. Thank you.